What's up, YouTube? Don here with Eastern CT Vapor. Now today we are here for another review. In today's review, we're going to revisit the ceramic coils that I just recently reviewed. Link will be in the description below if you are curious about that particular video. But today's review is going to be a little different. The previous one I reviewed was on a ceramic coil for your RDA, or you could use it in any coil that it would fit in. You could rebuild an old dead coil with these ceramics, or again, put it in your RDA. The options are there with that. This one is a little bit different. Today's coil is the same company, same coil, but made for the Kanger Subtank. Okay? This looks to be an OCC coil, but it is not. It's a CHC coil, a ceramic heating coil. Okay? Inside, instead of cotton, it is a ceramic wicking material, just like the C-cell coil. In my opinion, this one is a little bit better. It's a little bit more durable. You're going to see in the dive down, and if you've seen the other video, in both these dive downs, I do a durability test, and I scrape the living shit out of these coils to find out nothing comes off of them. Very, very durable coils. So, we need to take a dive down to the table. Once we get down there, I'm going to show you guys the packaging that these coils come in. I'm going to show you how they come out of the packaging, how the coil looks, how they are assembled. Briefly going to show you that. And once I'm done with that, I'm then going to take the coil, install it into my Kanger Subtank Mini, and we're going to meet back here at FaceTime for a vape, some pros and cons, and a couple final thoughts. So, let's get down to the table. And here we are at the table with our vape coil, the CHC OCC, which is ceramic heating coil. And the OCC, that's what Kanger called their coils for the Subtank, was the OCC coils. Leave that on the screen for you to be able to read. You can see the shadowed package. We got 5 pieces in the package. This side's black. This side's black. Bottom here, made in China. And here's our back. CHC, OCC, ceramic heating coil instead of OCC. Okay, lets us know our resistance. These are a 0.5 ohm resistance. Lets us know the material of our coil, which this one is Kanthal. The ceramic coil inside of core is intellectual property and patented. Alright, we'll open this up and you can see what you get inside. And this is what comes out of the box. You can see I've taken 2 out. Tells you right on the coil. We'll get more into that in the close-up. Pretty basic packaging, just your normal tin foil pop out, as you can see. Okay, we'll put that onto the side. And this is one of the coils straight from the package. You can see on here we have the Vape Coil name and logo. Have our feed holes. Our resistance, 0.5 ohms. Another feed hole. There is 2 feed holes, one there and one there. That is it. You can see at the bottom our airflow for the coil and our positive pin. We look up here and it looks to me like this is a hot glue type of material, either as an insulator or I'm not sure, but it appears to be hot glue. Also, looking down inside, you can see there's a screen on the top of our ceramic. Helps prevent spitback. And down inside of the ceramic wick, you can see the Kanthal wire coiled up. Maybe a little spin around. You can see down at the bottom. Again, it's like the same, it looks like hot glue material. Or it could just be some kind of a plastic or something, but it looks like it's used as an insulator, so I'm going to guess and say it's not PEEK for insulators on here. At least not what's touching the wire there. If we look down here at the bottom, if we take out our positive pin, this could be PEEK. It's not marketed, so I have really nowhere to look to give you a definitive answer. But that's the closest thing on this to PEEK that I would say. Like I said, it's almost like, I mean, this looks a lot more professional. This material right here. It's got almost the same hot glue look, but it looks a lot more professional and not as tacky as hot glue. So looking at this, I would predict it's a plastic of some such. Yeah, getting that off. Just a normal O-ring plastic. But we look in here and it could be that same material plastic as the O-ring, but I really doubt it. If we look in the airflow slots on the bottom of this coil, you can see the wire has that plastic stuff on it. Look right in there. You can see that. It almost seems like some kind of an insulator on the wires instead of, a normal electrician would use like wire caps or electrical tape. This kind of seems like a wire protectant so the wire doesn't short out in there. So it might not be any like high heat type of PEEK insulator or anything because it's not used at a heat matter. It's just used to protect the wire from shorting out in there. Because as you see down in there, that wire, very easily could fall over and touch some kind of metal and completely short out. So that might be the purpose of that wire, or of that insulator on the wire. Now, if you're wondering to yourself, how are the ceramic that are inside of these coils? How durable are they? How do they perform? Well, this is the same kind of ceramic heating element that is inside of this coil in here. Okay, if you want a close-up comparison, you see. Same stuff. Okay. This is just, I did a review on these specific coils. I'll have a link in the description for that so you can see that video if you're interested. These can get put in your RDA. But the same company takes these coils and puts them into a casing to fit them in your favorite tanks. This being the Kanger Subtank. Now, I'm going to do it again just in case some people missed it, but I'm going to do a little demonstration on how durable this is. Here, I'm going to take a piece of Kanthal wire here. And you can see the wire on my finger here, a nice little piece of Kanthal. And I'm going to do it right over on the box here. Okay, I'm scraping away at it. Nice sharp edge, scraping. And as you see, there's nothing on there, even if I wipe it here on my finger. There's nothing on my finger. It's a very, very durable ceramic. So if you have any question in your mind, you're, hesitant to use ceramic coils because you're worried that there's going to be a ceramic dust that eventually comes off of them. You saw what I just did to this. And nothing's coming off of it. It is a very hard, very durable ceramic. Okay? Again, that's what's in here. So you can be rest assured that, these aren't going to start flaking apart on you or anything like that. And real quick, this is what the coil looks like installed in the base of the Kanger Subtank. Just like it looks identical to one of their coils. Just has much smaller wick holes, feed holes, and the Vape Coil logo, no Kanger logo or anything. But that's how it looks. You can see in there it's a little bit used, it's a little darker. And this is how it looks fully in the tank. You can see we have here the KangerTech Subtank. This is Subtank Mini, actually. The 0.5 ohm. We have the Vape Coil logo. That's how it looks in there. Alright. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ceramic vape coil for the Kanger Subtank. Fits the Kanger Subtank, the Subtank Mini, the Subtank Nano, anything that fits the OCC KangerTech coil heads. This is compatible for this coil. This one. As you can see, they're identical. So, but anyway, I've given you guys an overview. You've seen the packaging. You've seen how they come packaged, how they come out of the package. I've shown you guys a overview of the coil, how they look, how they are briefly assembled. I've shown you the innards of it, a coil from the inside of one of these. I've shown you a nice durability test of it, so you can see how durable these things are. And I've installed it in a tank and shown you how it looks. Okay, so I'm sure the question everybody has is, how in the world do these things vape? So why don't we head on back up to FaceTime, have a vape on this, see how it performs, and go over a few final thoughts. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to FaceTime. Okay, now we have just gone over the ceramic vape coil for the Kanger Subtank, Subtank Mini, Subtank Nano, etc. The ceramic OCC coil heads that are not OCC. Okay, after going over them and showing you how they look, how they fit in the tank and all that, etc., I'm sure you're asking yourself, how do these things vape? So here we are back at FaceTime, have my ceramic vape coil installed in my Kanger Subtank Mini, have it on top of the iStick 100 watt TC, okay, and I'm vaping it at 50 watts. Let's see how they vape. It's a very good vape, and I'm getting at that. What's ceramic's purpose? The flavor, the full-on, absolute flavor. It is here. It's serving its purpose as a ceramic, for sure. But there are some pros and cons that we're going to need to dive down into. And for once, I'm going to start with some cons on this, because unfortunately, I had a few more than I wanted to see. So, cons, okay? The feed holes are really, really small on these coils. Here we are for a demonstration again real quick. Teeny, teeny, tiny. Okay? They don't wick efficiently because the holes are too small. So, if it's sitting for a little bit, or, you just get a coil in and it's, nice and primed up, you'll get a few good puffs. But say you start chain vaping a little bit, it starts to get dry. And once you get that dry hit, it really takes a while before it kind of catches up and wicks back up again. So, the only way I've really seen around that is to keep the wattage low. So, if you really like your high wattage warm vapes, this might not be the coil for you. But if you're into vaping, even 50 watts was, it's still a nice warm vape. I would even say 45 might be a good vape, so your dry hits are at their most minimal. I tried vaping this at like 60, 70 watts, and it was constantly getting dry hits because, again, the feed holes are just too small. So, other cons, inside it was that like hot glue looking material. I don't know if we can see it here on this FaceTime camera, but it looked like hot glue. I don't know how much I trust that. I tried to disassemble one of these coils and it really wouldn't come apart. It's assembled very nicely, but that hot glue stuff did come off. It obviously isn't PEEK. It's some kind of a clear plastic or even silicone, and I don't know if I trust that at a high temperature. It could break down, it could melt. Obviously the only way to heat it up is to put it in the tank, and I can't really see it in the tank to see if at high heats it's going to break down. So, only time will tell, and that is going to leave some curiosity to the consumer if that is going to be safe or not. So, to the company, I would recommend putting some kind of a description on the packaging, even to let people know the materials that are used in these coils, so we know that it's safe to use, okay? And that actually is going to do it for the cons portion of this. Now, getting into some pros, okay? I know I kind of had a few cons that, were a little bit stiff, but the pros may make up for it. So here we go, okay? Pro number one, it's a ceramic coil, and that's great. The flavor is fantastic. The vape is wonderful. Ceramics are the new thing. Everybody's trying it. This is it. And bringing up another pro, and I said it in my previous video for the other ceramics made by the same company, they're not making a ceramic for their tank or for their product. They're making a ceramic coil for everybody, for all products. And that's going into the ones for the RDA. Again, link will be in the description to check that out. They have specifically made this one for the KangerTech Subtank, but they are also in the process of making them for the Smock TFE4 Mini, the UL Crown, and there was a few more. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but they're making them for a few specific tanks. And if it doesn't fit a tank that you have, you can buy the bare ceramic coils and fit them into a coil of your choice for a tank of your choice. So this company, again, big pro, they're not marketing for their product. They're marketing for all products. Big pro. Another pro, I did mention in the cons that the wicking is a little inefficient and you tend to get dry hits. A pro to go with that, though, it's not con, it's ceramic. So the dry hits are not detrimental to your throat and ready to, burn your throat out. It's a much mellower dry hit. You know it's dry. It is, not the greatest taste in the world, but it's not cotton. So if I'm going to get a dry hit, I'll take a dry hit from a ceramic any day of the week versus a coil. And final pro, like I had stated, I tried to take one of these coils apart. I couldn't do it. I tried pliers and breaking and bending. I couldn't do it. So obviously these coils are manufactured very, very solid. So big pro to the Vape Coil company for great manufacturing. Now let's talk about their packaging briefly, okay? To me, this resembles the Kanger Subtank packaging quite a bit, okay? The same shadowed coil look, Kanger has that. The writing is different, okay? We've seen this in the up close. It has the Vape Coil logo, their info, all that, but it's very similar to the Kanger Subtank OCC coils. I think they could have done a little bit better on making their own packaging, being unique and on their own with that. So, but at the same time, for their ceramic coils for the RDA, this resembles their packaging for that. That's a one-of-a-kind coil and a one-of-a-kind packaging. So big props to the company for that. This does resemble that packaging. The black background, their logo, their little bit of info, the specs, whatnot, and so forth. But they put a little too much of Kanger's look into this. One thing I've prided this company on is their uniqueness to be on their own, to be one of a kind. And they're kind of leaning a little bit too much towards another company. These are not a clone. They are one of a kind. This company is unique and original. Their packaging should have been just as unique and original. Also, on the back of the packaging, a little bit more information would have been nice. Maybe a little story about the coils. Again, what they're made of. Stuff like that. A little story about the company, about what these coils are. Maybe a quick advertisement for a website on where to purchase. Something along those lines. It's a little bit bare. I do give credit for, I know it's a coil heating element and a coil wire. I know the ohms, but that's it. So maybe make a little bit more, guys. That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap it up for this review. Okay, I appreciate you guys stopping in and checking it out. I hope that you guys got some knowledge on these ceramics and maybe I influenced a purchase in the future. No, this is not an affiliate site of mine. I make no money off of this, so I'm not trying to push you to make a purchase for my benefit. No, the company did send me these coils for the purpose of this review for you guys, so you guys can just see how unique and how interesting these coils are and possibly give them a try. So, in the comment section below, let me know what you think, okay? Throw me a couple lines, maybe hit that like or dislike button. Also, while you're down there, try and hit that subscribe button. Tons of videos, future, past, and present. Be sure to check them all out. Tons more to come. Tons have passed. Don't miss out. And also, guys, be sure to check out CASA.org, notblowingsmoke.org, and also the vapingmilitia.org. Be sure to check out all of their calls to action and sign up to fight for your vaping rights. It doesn't even take 5 minutes, guys. The maximum it could take is 5 minutes. And every voice, every opinion counts. It goes such a long way. Your one voice, your one opinion can do wonders for this. Also, with all their calls to action, they have pre-written stuff. All you got to do is put in your name and your email address, and they send an entire letter to governors, Congress, all that. They take care of 90% of the work. You just need to put in your name and your email, and your voice is out there. So simple, guys. Make sure to check it out. Also, find me on social media: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All three of those .com/Eastern CT Vapor. And now, guys, I have a website. Check it out: www.easternctvapor.weebly.com. New website. My wife was kind enough to get this set up for me, so it is up and coming. It's very new, so check it out. Let me know what you think. My wife would appreciate the feedback. And that, guys, is gonna do it for this review. Make sure everybody out there stays safe. And for Eastern CT Vapor, this is a Kanger Subtank, but inside of this is the Vape Coil ceramic coils. And this is Don, guys. And always, always, always remember to vape on.